up, guys? Excuse me. So I'm coming to you today with the weekend preview. Got a big ass weekend coming up. 4 different cards to talk about. 1 on Friday, 3 on Saturday. I mean, guys, if you aren't watching this weekend's fights, you are not a real fan. And if you're not a true hardcore boxing fan like I am, then you should just pay attention because it's great fighters and great action, and you really don't want to miss it. You'd be disappointed if you miss these fights. So, all that being said, let's jump into the Friday card. It's a Golden Boy card on DAZN. Most of the card not worth talking about. I know Lamont Roach Jr. former world title challenger's on the way down undercard, so you should be able to check out the whole card a few hours early. The prelim fights, but there's 2 fights worth talking about. You got the co-feature, undefeated welterweight Rashidi Ellis is taking on undefeated welterweight Alexis Rocha. It's actually a good fight between 2 kind of prospect welterweights, talented fighters that are trying to make a name for themselves at 147. I'm actually looking forward to this one. I think it's going to be a pretty good scrap. I'm going with Rashidi Ellis to get a decision victory here. But, Alexis Rocha's got a good record as well. He's hungry. Neither one of these guys have tasted defeat. And, when you got 2 undefeated fighters right there fighting for it all, they're gonna go at it. And I think it's going to be a pretty good fight on the undercard right here. Then in the main event, you got former junior middleweight champion and undefeated Jaime Munguia battling Turiano Johnson, the always durable and tough Turiano Johnson. So this one, on paper, you're probably looking at Munguia as a walk here to knock Johnson out. But, Johnson's not a pushover. This isn't a complete wash of a fight right here. Johnson's been in there with a couple decent fighters. He's lost to Sergey Derevyanchenko by a late stoppage in a close fight. He's a tough guy, and he can hit hard. And, he's coming into this one. This is probably the second credible, this is Munguia, his second credible opponent at middleweight. When he moved up, he fought Spike O'Sullivan, and he was a very credible middleweight. Not a top 10 guy, but credible, and Munguia ended up knocking him out. But, he had a little bit of a scare early, and O'Sullivan was in that fight. I see a similar type fight with Turiano Johnson. I think Munguia is going to come in probably not overconfident like he did. I think he was a little overconfident going in against O'Sullivan. He was going to knock him out quick. I think he's going to show more respect to Turiano Johnson, and he'll start to try to break him down earlier. And I'm going with a knockout in the middle to later rounds, but I do think it's going to be an entertaining fight. Jaime Munguia is a fun guy to watch. Mexican, all Mexican fighter, but a middleweight. And he throws a lot of punches, and he's a slugger. He's young, so he's a fun guy to watch. So you definitely want to check that out. But I'm going with him by knockout. Then on Saturday, you got first ESPN. I think it's on regular ESPN. The Monster on Halloween. The Monster returns. Naoya Inoue. He is the WBA and IBF unified bantamweight champion. That's 118 pounds. He's the World Boxing Super Series winner. He is colliding with, I think it's Andrew Maloney, but it could be Jason, the brother. I get them mixed up. But he's colliding with the brother, with the Maloney brother for the unified title on Saturday, and what should be an interesting fight. Inoue's coming in a sizable favorite, but Maloney only has 1 loss on his resume, and it's a split decision to Emmanuel Rodriguez. However, Inoue blew Rodriguez out of the water in 2 rounds in the semifinals of the World Boxing Super Series last year. So, this is an interesting fight right here for the unified world title. But Inoue is a fucking beast. He is the monster for a reason. The guy hits hard, goes at you. He got tested against Nonito Donaire. Got a hard-fought decision win over him in the finals of the World Boxing Super Series, but he is very solid and very durable and can get the job done. And I'm really looking forward to to seeing him fighting. And Maloney's a good, credible opponent. So I'm going to go with Inoue with a knockout in the early to middle rounds, though, as he should retain his unified title, and he might just push forward towards a world, towards 122, moving up to super bantamweight, but we'll see. Now let's get into the DAZN card on Saturday. Matchroom is featuring this card, and it's got a good one too. The co-feature sees Lee Selby battling it out with George Kambosos Jr., undefeated fighter. They are fighting to become the IBF's mandatory #1 contender at lightweight, 135. Excuse me. You know, Selby is undefeated as a lightweight. I think he's 2-0. He got 2 wins last year as he moved up 2 weight classes from 126. He's a former champ at 126. Now he's taking on Kambosos, who's a solid lightweight, undefeated, looking to make a name for himself. I really think this fight could go either way. I'm giving it to Selby just off of basically, the resume, the credibility, the experience. But I wouldn't be surprised if Kambosos, the younger fighter, scores the upset and becomes the world champion, or becomes a mandatory #1 contender. But we'll see, because the winner is basically in line to challenge Teofimo Lopez next for the undisputed lightweight title. So we'll see how that all plays out, but a lot of significance for the winner here. Then the main event on that DAZN card on Saturday, Halloween, is going to see heavyweight action. #1 contender Alexander Usyk, the former undisputed cruiserweight champion and the season 1 World Boxing Super Series champion. He is taking on the former world title challenger Derek Chisora of the United Kingdom. This is a big fight right here for Usyk. Big step up in talent, in terms of talent and opponent. He fought Chaz Witherspoon last year in his debut at heavyweight. Now, over a year later, he's returning to take on Derek Chisora, who he's fought for a world title a couple times. His most recent incredible fight was the knockout loss to Dillian White in December of, I believe that was December of 2018 when they fought. He was winning that fight though, and he got caught by a wicked left hook in their rematch and knocked out cold. But Chisora is still a solid ass heavyweight. He's still trying to get himself back in line for another title shot, and a big win over Alexander Usyk could do it. He's got the size advantage. We'll see if he can pull off the upset. But Usyk's in line. He's the mandatory #1 contender to fight the winner of Anthony Joshua and Kubrat Pulev, and I think he has a title at heavyweight in his mind, and I think he's going to go for it against what's his name. So I'm picking Usyk to win this one by unanimous decision and to remain in line for the world title. So should be really good heavyweight action. Usyk's one of my top 10 heavyweights, and he's just a super talented fighter. So you're going to want to check him out in the main event on DAZN on Saturday. But now let's get into the big Showtime pay-per-view card that's taking place Saturday night on Halloween. Stacked card here. 4 fights we're talking about. The first one is an IBF lightweight title eliminator. This is going to get the #2 spot to the winner. It's featuring Isaac Cruz and veteran Diego Magdaleno. This fight could go either way, but this fight has a lot of significance. Neither guy's a top 10 guy, but the winner is either going to fight Lee Selby next to become either the world champion or the interim champion, and then that could lead to a shot at Teofimo Lopez if he's still champion and banging around. So this is going to end up to an eventual title shot or a interim title shot for the winner. So should be a good fight. I'm going to pick Isaac Cruz in this one, but that's really, just kind of throwing it out there. I do think it's going to be decent, and I can't wait to see it. That's the first fight. The second fight to talk about features undefeated junior welterweight champion Mario Barrios. Barrios is the regular champion of the WBA, kind of a secondary world title. He's taking on Ryan Carl, and hoping to get past him in his first title defense as he pushes forward towards hopefully bigger things in 2021. I'm going with Barrios to score a knockout victory in the middle to later rounds and retain his regular title at 140. The co-feature is going to see former WBA champion Regis Prograis returning to the ring a little over a year after his World Boxing Super Series finals loss to Josh Taylor when he suffered his first loss. He's going to be taking on Juan Heraldez, undefeated fighter but unknown. They're going to be going at it, and I'm picking this one. I think Prograis, he's trying to get a stay busy opponent ahead of what he hopes to be a bigger fight in 2021. I think Prograis is going to break down Heraldez, knock him out in the middle rounds in that area, early to middle rounds, and push forward towards something bigger in 2021. And then the main event, the one everybody's waiting for, the biggest fight of the weekend, one of the biggest fights of the year so far. You have 2 belts on the line when junior super featherweight champion at 130, Leo Santa Cruz battles undefeated lightweight champion Gervonta Davis. Both their titles are on the line because Davis is coming down to 135, which means he's under the lightweight limit as well. So they will compete for both the 130-pound and the 135-pound title in this fight. Gonna be a good fight right here. A fight that a lot of people are looking forward to seeing. I'm picking Gervonta Davis by a decision, but I really think he can pull off the knockout as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if Leo Santa Cruz were to get in there and pull off the upset and become the world champion, or retain his belt and capture the lightweight belt. I wouldn't be surprised if he pulled it off, but I really think this is Gervonta Davis's time to shine. I think he's going to get probably a decision win here, and be a 2-division world champion all at once. So we'll see what happens. But that's it, guys. So Friday, DAZN, Jaime Munguia, Turiano Johnson, Rashidi Ellis, and Alexis Rocha. Then Saturday, ESPN, Neua Inoue versus Maloney for the unified bantamweight world title. On DAZN on Saturday, Alexander Usyk, Derek Chisora, heavyweight action, and then Lee Selby and George Kambosos Jr. to become the #1 contender at lightweight. Then on the Showtime card, Gervonta Davis, Leo Santa Cruz compete for 2 belts at once. Should be a good one right there. Unified world title on the line. Then the undercard has I'm drawing a blank again. The undercard, Isaac Cruz and Diego Magdaleno in an IBF world title eliminator at lightweight, 135. Mario Barrios defends his junior welterweight title against Ryan Carl. And then the co-feature, Regis Prograis against Juan Heraldez at 140 pounds. Great night of action, great day of action on Saturday, October 31st, Halloween. I hope you guys are paying attention, and we also have Friday the 30th on DAZN. Hope you guys pay attention. Hope you enjoyed this. That's the weekend preview. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.